Hi guys, I just wanted to put out this video following on the amazing news that was put out last week by Ned regarding the proposal to leverage the STEEM blockchain with social media tokens. Now, a couple of months ago, I put out a video blog and I explained that the STEEM ecosystem, the STEEM blockchain, had the potential to grow into a $500 billion powerhouse. Now, I'm sure at the time when I put the video out that there was a few people would have thought, well, that's just crazy. That's just absolutely crazy. But in the video, I explained that if the Steam ecosystem was the ecosystem to capture social media websites or social media platforms on top of Steam it being a small part, then 500 billion is achievable. People are thinking Steam and Steam it, and that's going to be the pair. Well, that's really just a start. And what Steam it really is a very powerful blogging tool that is effectively battleground proven. There's 400, we're approaching 400,000 users, and it's these users that are proving the system. The system obviously went live in March of 2016, and over the last 16 months, 17 months, it's really now starting to mature into a system that is able to be now leveraged in these social media tokens. Now, there are a few people who've contacted me asking what actually, is this concept of a social media token? Because, is it an ICO? Is it something that's going to sit at the side of Steam? Is it something, completely different to Steam? What actually is a social media token? And the best way to explain what is a social media token in the eyes of the proposal that Ned has made, which I think is genius, by the way, is effectively allowing the Steam currency, as we all know at the moment, that we get paid for and rewarded on the Steam platform, is to use the Steam currency as effectively the base currency, and then by leveraging the base currency, you then can have another currency or a token, a social media token, which would then become a pair. Now, the best way to explain this for the ones who are still struggling to understand how it actually matches up. Let's say at this point in time, Steemit has 400,000 users, and we've got 400,000 registered users who are all talking and blogging and chatting to each other. Now, if you looked at another website, another platform that has a user base, and let's just say, for argument's sake, we call it Johnny's website. And on Johnny's website, it's a website that captures comments and shares various discussions. And Johnny has 1 million subscribers. So now you've got a situation where Johnny's website, Johnny's platform, captures conversations and comments and various different contributions to his website with 1 million subscribers. What the Steam, the social media token will allow to do is allow Johnny to issue his own currency. So what we've now got is a situation where, by leveraging the Steam cryptocurrency as the base currency, all of a sudden now you've now got a situation where Johnny can now on his website, on his blogging site, or on his platform, issue his own currency, and this currency is then distributed through that little environment, or that that platform. Now, what that will give overnight is effectively a high demand for the Steem base currency. Everything then will be measured against Steem. So in that instance, let's call it a Johnny coin. A Johnny coin will be worth so many Steem and vice versa. And the subscribers placing comments and various different contributions will be rewarded in the Johnny coin. Now, there are a few people who are trying to understand how this could eventually affect the Steem. Well, overnight, what is really going to happen is it's not going to go in increments of tens of thousands. It's going to go in increments of millions as far as individuals that are going to be blogging on various platforms, all stitching back to the STEEM blockchain. Now, a lot of people then will think, well, hang on a minute, does that mean then that each of those 1 million subscribers on the other sites are going to become users of the Steemit blogging site? No. What actually is going to happen is the 400,000 that are already subscribers on the Steemit blogging site will become 400,000, and then effectively the million that are on Johnny's blogging site or Johnny's website, they then just become effectively one user. So what is going to happen is that one user, which just happens to be 1 million subscribers, are all going to be using that social media token, and suddenly you've got a situation where the parent coin or the reserve currency, which is effectively the Steem currency, is going to sit on top of it. So, you know, you can look at Bitcoin, you can look at all the other various different currencies, and they're always a pair. You know, how much, so many Steem for a Bitcoin, or so many Bitcoin for $1. You know, when you're measuring one currency against another, those are where the fluctuations are going to get. So effectively what we're going to have is, and I think it's fantastic, I really do, is that we're going to have a situation where anybody holding Steem, in theory, is actually holding the reserve currency of the social media platforms. So when you look at, you know, could Steem ecosystem be worth 500 billion? Yeah, absolutely it can. It can now, and it can now very fast, because what in theory is going to happen is the more blogging sites who come along, those subscribers, those users, those content creators, they don't have to be registered users on Steemit to get the benefit of being rewarded. Massive change. I can't even begin to tell you how big this potentially could be, you know. So if you think of these social media tokens as a currency that is being measured against another currency, that currency just happens to be Steem, and Steem effectively becomes the reserve currency. So when you say, like, you know, we've said in the past, and everybody says the gold backed standard, or you know, the dollar is backed by silver, or you know, the sterling is backed by gold. What we're going to have now is a situation where all these social media tokens are backed by Steem. That is massive. And anybody who is struggling to understand it, really, you know, they have to think outside the box and really think what the potential of the Steem ecosystem could be, and You know, when I read what Ned is proposing, I was, you know, I mean, I was blown away, but not surprised. You know, I mean, from day one, I've said that these guys are geniuses. You know, Dan and Ned and all the developers that are involved in the blockchain. You know, these guys are at the cutting edge of social media technology. And once you start rewarding content creators on other platforms in the form of a token, does it matter whether they join Steam it or not? Not as far as I'm concerned, it doesn't. Because if they're using the Steam, or you know, the Steam coin is backed by, or their currency is backed by the Steam, does it matter? Not at all. So I think this news is fantastic. You know, I mean, it should come as no great surprise as to you know, my belief in the whole Steam ecosystem. So you know, great news as far as I'm concerned. This is fantastic news. You know, and I wasn't at all surprised when the news came out that we saw a spike in the price. You know, I mean, I think we're around about the 200-day moving average technical, and the technicals are around about the $1.01, $1.02, and then of course the news was released, that shot it up to $1.62, I think it was. I think we're trading now at about $1.34. You know, am I at all surprised? Not at all, not at all. And if this is rolled out, and other social media sites take this, you know, on board, we're going to be in for an exciting ride. And really, the holders of the Steam are effectively holding, well, gold. In theory, that's what they're holding. They're holding the equivalent of the gold for a gold-backed currency, you know. So great news, absolutely great news. So gets the thumbs up from me, and I really wish Ned, Dan, you know, all the developers that have been involved in the blockchain and who are involved in the blockchain and are taking this forward, all the very best. I strongly support the idea. So you know, hopefully this gets out. Hopefully people can understand and get their head around it. On the 20th of October, we're presenting Steam It down at the London Investor Show down in the UK. And part of the presentation, we're going to actually talk about the social media tokens. Let's see what the reaction is. But as far as I'm concerned, you know, this is a real game changer of epic proportion. And when people, you know, start understanding the implications of having these having these social media tokens, I think it's going to be phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal. So gets the thumbs up from me, guys. I really wish everybody on Ned's team, you know, massive success, and hopefully we'll see the first social media tokens released. So hope this comes through okay. Hope you understand it a little bit more for the ones who are still trying to get you know, the concept in their head, and look forward to seeing what sort of comments you've got. So hope you guys are having a good time, and speak to you soon. Cheers, guys.